Action. DC Fandom was this past Saturday, and it gave us so much to talk about and so much to be excited for. The first thing we need to talk about, though, is The Batman with Robert Pattinson. I have been so excited to talk about this movie. I have so much to say about it that I really don't even know where to begin. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna talk and we're gonna see where it brings us. If you have not seen the trailer, I am putting the trailer in my bio. It is a must watch. They play the song Something in the Way by Nirvana, and I can't really think of a better song to play in a Batman trailer. And especially the way they edited it and made it sound so epic, it just fit the vibe of what this Batman movie is really going to be about. Nirvana is very gritty, dark, depressing sounds. That pretty much just sums up Batman himself. So the song just goes so well with what seems to already be a dark, gritty, and depressing world that Matt Reeves has set up for this Batman film. I'm really happy that this movie seems to have been able to get off the ground and start something absolutely amazing. When Ben Affleck was in talks to do the Batman movie after Batman, Superman, and Justice League, and he was going to star in it, but also direct it and write it, I was looking really forward to it. But you know, after like a year, maybe a bit longer of just things going into development hell and just things simply not working out within Warner Brothers and DC, and Ben Affleck was apparently done as Batman. And then Matt Reeves came in and took the project over, hiring Robert Pattinson. I was never against Robert Pattinson being cast as Batman. I think he suits a good Bruce Wayne. I think he is a fantastic actor. Twilight definitely does not do him justice. I think he's going to prove why he was cast as Batman. The trailer alone already showed why he's going to do a fantastic job. I think it's cool too because they announced that this movie is going to be its own separate universe, so it won't have anything to do with the DCEU, nothing with Superman, Wonder Woman, any Justice League character. When watching this trailer, I feel like it's a love letter to Christopher Nolan in a way. And I think that's a really cool idea with this Batman movie because from what I heard, it's going to be a trilogy. What's great about it is you can now take Robert Pattinson's Batman, you can develop a rich history, you know, a lore behind this Batman's rogues gallery and stories, and you'll be able to flesh out a proper Batman trilogy just the way you did it with Christopher Nolan and Christian Bale. When this trailer dropped, I didn't really know what to expect because we've had so many Batmans in such a little amount of time that I wasn't really sure how it was gonna look. So when I started that thing up, I was just mouth wide open, jaw dropped, just almost couldn't believe what I saw because I couldn't believe how grounded it was. They've done such a good job of just keeping it that classic noir detective 80s feel. It literally, the movie looked like they ripped pages from an 80s, 90s Batman comic and said, boom, we're gonna put it on screen. And that's another thing. Batman's suit is so dope. It's his second year as Batman, so I can only assume in that amount of time he's finding a lot of different ways to better his suit and better himself. And he's probably testing with a lot of different gadgets and technology. It looks like he found a way to keep himself armored with that thick chest piece armor. And he also seems to be using combat boots. They show a picture of his boots during the trailer, and they look like army combat boots. And it looks like he's trying to find a way to be quick and agile, but also just in case he gets shot, he's gonna have armor to protect him, where like he can take a bullet and keep going without being hurt. They finally made Riddler a menacing villain after Jim Carrey's portrayal of him in Batman Forever. I know a lot of people love Jim Carrey's Riddler. I'm not a big fan of it. I always thought Riddler should be very, very dark. The whole point of the Riddler is to stand out to Batman, but also to stand in front of him. He always needs to best Batman. He needs to be smarter than Batman. Batman in the movie already looks like he's gonna be chasing leads and literally decoding his riddles. It doesn't look like it's going to be easy for him, especially with how dark they're taking the route of this movie in general. They're already doing a great job in the trailer by making it seem that Riddler is always one step ahead of Batman. He needs to be dangerous. I don't think the old Riddler of just feeding his ego is enough. I think putting people in harm's way is exactly what Batman needs as a strong, impactful leading villain in the Riddler. And speaking of villains, we got Colin Farrell as the Penguin. He has so much prosthetics on him, you can barely tell that is Colin Farrell as Penguin. If I didn't already know Penguin was in this movie, I would have never known that was Colin Farrell. Not only does he look completely different, but he already sounds completely different. Colin Farrell is a fantastic actor, and I'm already sure that him as the Penguin is going to be one to remember. Even seeing Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman was pretty cool. You can already tell that she herself is starting out as well. Even her little like thug mask she's wearing has like little tiny points for like cat ears. I love how we're already seeing her stealing something. She's searching for something and she's already fulfilling the Catwoman prophecy of being a thief. I even love seeing that quick scene in the trailer where she's sparring with Batman and how agile Zoe Kravitz already looks in this role of Catwoman. Can't talk about Batman without mentioning the most important gadget in his belt, which is actually the Batmobile. The Batmobile looks really cool, and it's so much different than what the Batmobile has been the past couple of years. You know, you have the Tumbler and the Dark Knight trilogy, which kind of formed itself into like a massive armored Hummer. You have the Arkham Knight game, which literally turned the Tumbler into a tank. Then you have Ben Affleck's Batmobile, which looks a little bit thinner, it's a little more agile, but the thing could still take an explosion from a rocket launcher and be unscratched. I don't really know too much about this Batmobile with Pattinson. It looks really cool. Every time I look at it, it kind of looks like the DeLorean from Back to the Future. I love how it has an afterburner on the back of it. I don't know what type of functionality it's gonna have. Not sure if it's gonna have some sort of machine gun that can pop out and fire rubber bullets. I don't know if it's gonna be able to project him out of the seat so he can jump right out of the car and start gliding around the city. I'm assuming it's gonna be a little more basic for Batman since it only is his second year on the job. I'm sure as the movies go on, we're gonna start to see the Batmobile develop into something more powerful, something more armored. There's already a part in the trailer where he drives like straight through a wall or like into some sort of car, and it looks like it just bounces off the Batmobile. So maybe this thing is a lot more armored than I thought. Let's also talk about the bat symbol. I love how thin it is, and I love how razor sharp it looks. His suit almost looks like if he needed a spare batarang, he could literally take it from his chest and throw it. I think that's so cool. I don't know if that is actually what can be done with the chess piece. I doubt it. They just made it look like that, and I think that's a really neat detail, especially considering that the Batarang is, in comic books at least, is his most used handheld gadget, other than the grapple hook.
The hell are you supposed to be? I'm vengeance.
That was more Batman than I've ever seen Batman be Batman. It was just so awesome. No mercy at all. Arm broken, face punched in like 9 times, and then still got beat down on the ground, and which sounded brutal, by the way. Bones were broken all over this guy's face if his face hasn't been punched in. That is my Batman, and that's what I like to see. I know in Batman vs Superman, Zack Snyder made an expectation where he's older, he's grizzled, he's tired, and he just does not care anymore. So if he ends up killing, he ends up killing. It is what it is. And I'm okay with that. I think the idea of it makes sense, and I think it's cool. But if I'm making a Batman that doesn't kill, he's going to ensure you're not going to walk for 6 months. If that means he needs to break your leg in like 10 places, so be it. That is Batman, and I think that's why I'm so excited for it. Overall, I think for a movie that's only been shot 25% so far, they showcased us a lot of stuff, and a lot of good stuff too. If the rest of this movie proves to be what it can be and turns out being what this trailer showed us, I don't want to speak too soon, but we could be in for another Batman Begins Dark Knight type of Batman film. It could possibly be that good. With that being said, guys, I have so much more I could say about this movie. I will undoubtedly be making more Batman videos from here, but I'm just gonna reiterate how awesome this Batman film looks. I didn't doubt it for a second, but I also did not know what to expect. And after seeing that trailer, I'm now expecting a lot because this movie looks fantastic. Alright guys, I will leave a link into the description so you can watch the trailer for yourself and let me know what you think of it. Maybe you've already seen it once, twice, 10 times, 15 times, 100 times, or every day until the movie comes out like I will be doing myself. Alright guys, talk to you soon.